Beyond Synth 408.
It's the Marko and Andy Power Hour. With Andy Last.
Oh, I'm an idiot!
And Marko Marek.
Now fuck that. That's nuts.
Alright, well, it's time for the Power Hour. A whole hour of power, possibly more, depending on how this gets edited. I'm Andy, and I'm here, of course, with the amazing Marko Marek.
That's right, it's me. I'm back. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing okay. I like your new radio voice.
Is that my new voice? What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, speaking of which, so today we're going to, well, obviously, Marko's picked out a lot of awesome music to listen to, and we watched a film called Robowar, which you just reminded me of, because I feel like one of the characters in that movie kind of, his accent changes throughout the movie.
Oh, yeah, he does.
It's like, at first it's like, okay, he's doing like an American accent, but then like partway through, he also kind of switches to like a German sort of accent at times, like the guy with the remote control for the cyborg.
Yeah, yep.
Anyway, we'll worry about that later. The point is...
We'll get to that. Get to that.
Oh, speaking of which, before we even get fucking going here, guess what happened about 7 minutes ago?
Oh, ball school.
That is correct.
Ball school updates.
I just got a fucking ball school update.
Yeah, I knew it.
Okay, it was 20 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes before we started recording.
Okay.
This just came through. It's Worder Ball School to Worder. For people who don't know, I get these ball school updates in my email from a German ball school. And I'm going to feed this into the translator now. This is not going to be worth it, by the way.
Somewhere out there's a ball school, a German ball school, and they call it their ball school. Ball school update. It's a ball school update. Ballschulen finden statt. Ballschule is taking place. Ball school, this is the ball school, ball school. We are the balls, and the school is our soul.
For everyone, this is like a fresh ball school update. Guten Tag. Good day, their son/daughter is old enough to switch to the group from 7 of the ball school. For this reason, he or she has been automatically re-registered in the next group and can participate there with immediate effect. If there is anything against the change, please feel free to write to me. If your child is already participating in the group, you don't need to do anything else. Best regards, Dominic. So there we go.
I'm glad you got that update. You really don't want to miss out, you know.
Hey, this is the first time one of these ball school updates has been like signed by somebody. So we know Dominic from the ball school, mit freundlichen Gruben.
You know it's legit.
Yeah.
It's a legit update.
That's right. When you get the fucking freundlichen Gruben, you know it's legitimate. Whatever any of this stuff means.
How the fuck did you get on that email chain or the group or whatever? That's so crazy.
Well, there must be some German guy who has an email that's very similar to mine, because I got another one too that was about couples counseling. So there's a guy who's... I bet you his email is probably something like, it's like...
Beyond Schlauten.
Yeah. Eine Synthwave? Or fucking... I can't even do fake German. I don't really know enough.
Beyond Schnitzel.
Yeah. you did it. I was going to say Scheiße Wave, so that's all I know.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, the point is that we're here. I do actually have there was another ball school update on August the 5th, but this one is just, dear parents of the ball school, we hope you had a nice summer holiday and are now relaxed, healthy, and ready for the new year. Then why are we having a New Year update in August? We will start the ball schools on August 13th. Oh, because that's when it starts. Oh, I get
school
like
year or something? Yeah, it must be.
Yeah. We will inform you again if there's any changes to the group. Oh, and that's the fucking message we just got. That was the change. Because some people have been switched from 7 of the ball school, and for this reason, they have been re-registered. Okay, so... you want to play me some music?
Yeah, sure.
Get this show started properly.
No, it's important to keep people up to date with all the ball school bullshit. So
yes.
Lucy in Disguise has got a really good new album just came out. Lucy's been at the top of the chill synth game for a number of years now, and his talents is not waning, that's for fucking sure. But the album is called Passing Mirrors. I had trouble just picking one track from this, Andy. I was going to go with Passing Mirrors, the title track, but Drip is really good good too. So let's give Drip a play.
All right, and that was Lucy in Disguise with the track Drip. And that's a cool song from the album Passing Mirrors. And that is cool. And we're here on the Power Hour, catching up with Marko. When's the last time I chatted with you? I feel like it's been a while.
It has been. I think it's been a couple of months, actually. I think we recorded, it was probably late June, I would say. So it has been a while, mate.
Have you been up to anything good?
Not really. I've been a little sick, actually. I think COVID's making the rounds again, but it's, I don't fucking know. Everyone's been a little sick. So, but I got a week off work right now. So I'm pretty stoked, man. I'm just chilling, relaxing, doing a little bit of shit around the house, playing video games, listening to a lot of good music. Been a lot of good music out lately, Andy. I'm fucking loving it.
Perfect. I like good music.
You do?
Yeah, I do, I think.
What have you been doing, Andy?
Let's see, I'm still working my way through playing stupid Mortal Kombat seasons. They finally put out some proper costumes. Sub-Zero, Reptile, and Scorpion now have their costumes from the movie.
Oh, finally.
And
Finally.
Yeah, it's crazy that they've never done that until now.
Did you have to pay for it?
No, well, I didn't have to pay for the Scorpion one. It was free, but then I had to use some dragon crystals, which I had saved up.
I was going to say you had to grind for it, I'm
Yes.
sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It's a bunch of bullshit. Oh, this is fucking mind-blowing. Now, I haven't seen the American price, but Mortal Kombat 1, like, people are already down on this game anyways. Like, I get the vibe online is that people are kind of not keen on this latest Mortal Kombat game. And they announced the DLC, which is, like 6 new fighters and some fucking story pack or whatever. And it's 79 Canadian dollars.
Jesus fucking Christ, 79?
Yeah, for 6 characters. And like, when they did Mortal Kombat 11, they also did a thing, where they added a bunch of characters and a story mode that was, like an extra, 3 hours of story or whatever. I think it was like just 39 or, like it was the cost of like a chunk of DLC like any other game.
Yeah, that you can understand.
79. I don't know what the American...
It's like a full game. That's like a full game price, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's Canadian, so it might be like 59 or 69 US, but it's still way too much for a fucking DLC. Like, that's absurd. It's just, it's 6 characters, and I feel like the Mortal Kombat audience is going to be upset by some of them because they did like a gender swap Cyrax and Sector. The only issue is they're not cyborgs, because I feel like their masks come off kind of like Iron Man, so it doesn't look like they're fully converted cyborgs. So like, this Mortal Kombat game is a big fucking multiverse one, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
You're always playing as these different variations. Like, one of the side characters you can play as is Janet Cage, which is like a female Johnny Cage. You don't play as them though. They just jump in and punch or whatever. So yeah, man, I'm not paying that.
Right.
Fuck it. $79, man, is absurd.
No, fuck that.
That's absurd.
That's nuts.
There is extra story, but
Still.
historically based on like what they've done before, it's going to be like not as big as the main story was on the game, which was only about, it takes like 5-6 hours to go through the whole story mode. So, this will be like a 2-hour edition. And like, some of the characters are fine. Like, you can T-1000 is one of them. Arnold as Conan is one of them. Ghostface from the Scream movies. But it's weird because Mortal Kombat 11, you could play as Terminator and Robocop. Yeah. And this game, you can play as T-1000, but they're not in the same game. Like, I would love to do a T-1000 versus Terminator match, but like, that's not... It's just weird. They make weird decisions over there.
Yeah, they really do by the sounds of it. I mean, I haven't played the new one, but yeah, some of the decisions are a bit... has you scratching your head a little bit. Like, what the fuck are they thinking?
Yeah, I have no idea. I will say, like, I think these costumes finally look good, but again, that's what I was complaining about when the game first came out, is like, none of the costumes were cool, like, because they're all these alternate universe Scorpion and Sub-Zero who don't look cool. Like, they're just like these kind of guys with ponytails, and it's taken them this long to finally come out with Scorpion with the fucking proper outfit. And I do enjoy playing as them in their cool costumes, but it's, hey man, you get it.
I do get it. I ain't paying that sort of money for fucking character. That's bullshit, man.
No, it's fucking nonsense.
Bullshit.
But I tell you what isn't bullshit is cool music, so you play me some more.
Oh, you want me to play another one? All right, Andy, I got plenty of good music this week, mate. I just discovered this artist called TNT. I don't really know too much about him, but the new track is really phenomenal, and it's called Physical.
right, and that was Physical by TNT. And we're here. It's the Power Hour. A full hour of power. Oh, you know what we should do?
What's that?
Before I get carried away, because I know I'm going to forget, we got some birthday announcements for August.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, it's time for the August birthdays. So look, some of these are belated, like always. Actually, probably all of these are belated. August the 4th, a very happy birthday to Gary Heather. Gary Heather's a cool guy, and he had a birthday on August 4th, and I hope that went well for Gary. Much like Jeremy L. Corp on August the 6th, who I'm sure also had a very excellent birthday. I think he messaged me on Patreon. He didn't realize there was a message feature there, so the last time I chatted with him was 3 years ago. But hope he had a good birthday. Then there's Albion Algorithm, aka Stray Light Sailor, August the 7th. Hope you had an awesome birthday. Then August the 10th, a happy birthday to Arjen 1981. And we got two more here. These ones might not actually be belated, so this is really exciting.
Oh, wow. That makes a change.
August the 30th, a very happy birthday to Jose Arbello, who I haven't talked to in years. I don't even know if Jose still listens to the show, but happy birthday, buddy. Hope you're doing okay, man. And then Austin Whetstone on August 31st. I hope you have a very happy birthday. At this point, I think I'm wishing happy birthdays to people who don't even listen to the show anymore, but anyway, whatever, man. Happy birthday to all of you. Happy birthday to you, Marko.
Happy birthday, you bloody cunts. Yep. And mine's coming up next month, actually, so, yeah. Time flies, mate.
You planning something good?
I think I got the day off work. Probably just cook up. Probably do some cocking, mate. No.
Nice.
I'm probably going to cook up some steaks on the grill, on the old barbie.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like steaks.
It's about as exciting as it gets for me these days, Andy. I'm not that exciting anymore, but that's fine. I'm happy with that. I'm getting older now. It's the simple things, mate.
What are some of those simple things?
Get an ice cream. We just went to Dairy Queen and had some ice cream. I've actually never had Dairy Queen before. They just opened up down the road and everybody goes on and on about it. It was pretty good, but it wasn't as good as everybody made out, but whatever. It's never going to live up to the expectations. You know how it is. But it was decent, yeah.
I don't get it. Everyone's so excited about a lot of franchise things,
right.
And most of the time, franchise stuff is fine. But very rarely is it, exceptional. It's usually kind of slightly watered down, I don't know.
No, I agree with you.
What can you say? Dairy Queen is soft serve ice cream. It's fine. Sometimes it's got cookie bits in it.
It's like when I first had Taco Bell. Everyone, Taco Bell. I had it. It was it was pretty shit. I gotta be honest with you. It was this is cheap shit, really. It really is. So.
Yeah. Well, we can bring people down talking about all this shitty food, but we can bring them up by listening to cool music.
Yeah, now you're talking. All right, you going to play something or you want me to play something again?
You play something. I only have a few songs I was going to throw in if we had time, yeah.
All right. Okay, mate. Well, how do you pronounce it? Isidor? Isidor?
Fuck, I've never known. I say Isidor, but then it might be Isidor.
I'll say Isidor.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Well, Isidor has released a new track. It's just a single track, but it's really good. He's a synthwave, dark synth, cyberpunk producer from Serbia who I do like his stuff a lot, and this new track's really good. It's called Android.
right, and that was Android by Isidor. And that is a cool song, and you can go check it out. You know, all these things are on Bandcamp for you to listen to, so if you hear songs on the show you like, you go there and you can throw the artist a couple bucks, and it's all good. And speaking of throwing people a couple bucks, you can join the Patreon of Beyond Synth, because there's lots of bonus content there, and bonus shows for you to listen to, like Color Theory and I talking about Depeche Mode, and I recorded some movie commentaries with Mike. You know, Mike and I watched fucking Roadhouse 2024, so not so cool.
Oh, the new one, no shit. What was it like? Oh, I love the old one, so I don't know.
Look, like, it's not horrible, it's just not remarkable in any way either, you know what I mean? It's just one of those.
They incorporate the UFC into it a little bit, because I know I was watching a UFC event and they actually had like a mock fight with Jake Gyllenhaal in it. It was kind of weird, so I don't know how they incorporate that into the story.
No, I mean, that's the thing. It actually does touch on a lot of the same beats as the old movie, but the fights are really weird because they do that thing where they sort of stitch shots together. It's got this very digital look to it. Like, a lot of people were complaining that they thought the fights were like CGI, and like, I don't think the fights were CGI, but they do that thing where, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but sometimes you can like sort of blend and edit together with sort of a quick morph. So sometimes movies do this to make something look like one continuous shot, but actually they like, you know, it's a whole bunch of different shots and they blend them together by having like sort of a morph effect to sort of, it sort of smoothly kind of zooms from one shot to another to make it seem like it's one shot. And they do that quite a bit in the fight scenes, and the overall effect makes the whole thing kind of feel fake.
No, that sucks.
It feels like CGI, but there was some things, like some aspects of the fights that were okay. So it's like, the reason why I thought it would be fun to watch is because I wouldn't give a fuck if we talked through the whole thing, because I had never seen it before.
Oh, that makes sense.
You know, because when it comes to movie commentaries, you either have to seen the movie before, so you're okay with talking through the whole thing, but if I'm going to talk through a movie I haven't seen before, then it has to be something I just don't give a shit about. And that was a prime example.
Yeah, is there any cool dialogue in there, like the original movie? Like, there's this one scene that always makes me laugh. I love it, where he's fighting, you know, Dalton is fighting Jimmy, the number one henchman, and then they're having this massive fight, and there's you can cut the tension with a knife, and then Jimmy says to Dalton, I fuck guys like you in prison. It's like, no, what the fuck?
There was nothing.
You're trying to kill each other.
No, there was nothing amazing like that. There was things that made me laugh.
Yeah.
Part of it was like just Jake Gyllenhaal's overall performance. Like, he's giving this sort of, he doesn't care performance, but like he's like smiling the whole time. Like, he's kind of crazy. Like, so it was a funny, he kind of doesn't care. He kind of, it's like he finds everything funny. Like, everything that's happening in the movie, like, he's like entertained by what's going on. It was weird, but nothing like that. Nothing like the funny dialogue from the old one. I still love the fucking bad guy. Like, when he when he gets mad that he killed his buddy, fucking Wade or whatever. Like, what?
Yeah.
Just gotta kill one old man? There's a mercy killing. Put him out of his misery or whatever. Like, it's his buddy. You know? Like, I just love it.
I love how I just love how ridiculous it all is. Like, there's this bar they go to, and it's basically like fucking Fight Club, you know, and there's like no police. I don't know what the new one's like, but anyway, I could go on about the old one forever. But.
The new one's like that as well. I don't know, but for some reason it seems more ridiculous just because it's like they're trying to make it seem like it's sort of realistic. So then part of you is like, who the fuck would be a band? Because every time they cut back to the bar, there's always a different band playing. And they're behind the chain fence.
And
it's like, what band would play at this fucking club? Like, because there's regularly just these crazy fights, and people are like also always throwing things at the band as well.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like being that hard up, like you're a band and you want to perform, that like you're going to go to the bar where people routinely try to kill you and all the other people in the bar? Like, it's so stupid.
Yeah, for what, like $100 a night or something, just to try to get your music out there. Nobody's really even listening. They're just too busy fighting and fucking breaking shit. It's fucking hilarious.
It was pretty silly, but hey, man, you know what isn't silly?
Cool.
Fucking cool music.
Let me guess. You want me? No, come on. You play one this time.
Okay, let's see. You know what? Let's listen to this track. The Rezonator came out with an album that I thought there was a lot of cool songs on, called Dormant Sensory Organ. And I want to play this one, which is featuring Electric Dragon. This is The Gateway Process. And that was The Gateway Process by the Rezonator, featuring Electric Dragon. And that is cool. I'm here with Marko. It's the Power Hour.
Yeah.
We're just listening to cool music and catching up. Oh, I picked up Robocop, the game. It was on sale.
I want to get that too. Yeah. Did you play it at all?
I did. I'm glad I bought it on sale. I'll put it that way. Like, it's a good game, but it definitely feels like it doesn't quite have the polish of, like, this is something I'm not sure what the correct term is, but people always talk about AAA games and indie games.
Yes.
And that seems to be like the two things. So AAA games, that's the big companies, that's the fucking, the games that sell billions of copies and, they cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make. Your fucking, your Assassin's Creed franchise, your Marios, your these and that. Then there's indie games that are made by small teams. Oftentimes now they're like these kind of pixel art games and these sort of smaller titles. And then there's a game like Robocop, which I'm trying to figure out what to really call it because, it's a big franchise, it's Robocop, but the game itself isn't quite a AAA game, but it's not like an indie game. I wouldn't call it like an indie game either. Like, it does feel like a proper big title, but it's got some aspects of it that are rough around the edges, like it hasn't been fully optimized. You know that thing when you play a game and there's like a cutscene, and Robocop does this every time. Every time it switches the camera angle, it's like the game has to like load for a few frames. Like sometimes when you play a game where the characters talk and like they kind of disappear for like a frame and then come back.
Yeah.
So like Robocop is full of that. So like every time there's a cutscene, every time the camera angle changes, the characters sort of like have to pop into frame. Like texture pop in and stuff. You walk into a room and like the textures aren't loaded yet, and they sort of like load in front of you, like that kind of stuff. So Robocop kind of has a lot of that, where it's like the game looks good and it plays fine, and it plays like you would think Robocop would play. Like, he walks slowly, but he's really powerful, and so it is satisfying to shoot people because it does feel like Robocop. And the game is really trying to capture the mood and humor of the movies, but it's let down a bit because the cutscenes don't have the energy that the film does. Like, the voice acting is I'll just say it's bad. Like, let's put it that way.
Okay.
So the cutscenes there's no energy to them. They're just really like flat. They're not funny. Like, they're trying to have that sense of humor, but the voice acting is just either way too over the top. Like when the bad guys are like, "You gotta get the nuke," and like they just have these stupid voices. And then of course every time the camera angle switches, like the characters disappear for like a second and then pop in, and so it just feels really rough that way. And Peter Weller is the voice of Robocop, but it's fair to say that he's not
enthusiastic.
I don't think he's giving it his all. I'll put it that way.
Oh, why do they do that? I don't understand that shit. Like, that's annoying.
I think he gave a better performance in Mortal Kombat, like when there was the Robocop character in the Mortal Kombat game, because there are some parts where he delivers some lines like he's asleep.
Oh shit.
So it's like, okay, it's nice that he's there, but then on the other hand, it's like maybe a sound-alike could have done a better performance. But then if they hired any of the other people who did voices in this game, they're terrible too. So maybe it is good, like, that it's him. I will also say, I know this is a lot of criticism, I think the game is fine, but it's definitely not a game that you should buy full price. Like, this is definitely a game to buy on sale, but if you're a fan of Robocop, I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Robocop.
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff too where, I'm thinking about what the gameplay is, and I'm kind of like, is this fun? Like, there's parts where you're doing like kind of police work, and it is just a lot of like walking around, talking to a person, then walking to another location, scanning a wall, and then walking back to that person, and then walking to another place and scanning the floor, and then walking back to another person. Like, so it's like, it's okay because you're actually being like a cop or whatever, but at the same time, it feels like filler.
Yeah.
But then there's things that are good, right? They recreate the fucking police station. They recreate, even if the voice actors don't sound like the people, all the people are there. So, like, like the police chief guy, like, it's the same guy as the movie and stuff. And
no shit.
And it's got the violence. So, like, when you shoot people, there's lots of blood and you're blowing people's heads off and stuff. So, like, there is that. I don't think they captured Robocop's walk properly, though. Like, whenever you see Robocop in the cutscenes, he doesn't walk like Robocop. So that's all. So I know it sounds like a lot of complaints, but I would say definitely if you're a fan of Robocop, pick it up if it's on sale.
Yeah. Well, I am a huge fan of Robocop, so I will be getting it. I mean, I know even the novelty part of it is just is going to be enough. And I already know it's going to be, from what everybody said, like yourself and other people, that it's going to be lacking in certain areas and it's probably going to be a little repetitive. I mean, without having played it, you think they would have used more stuff from the movie, like actual scenes, and try to maybe even sample it and use, you know, recreate some of the scenes, I guess. But
well, I think it's supposed to kind of be like a sequel. So it's sort of like it takes place after Robocop 2. Like, I think that's the idea.
Oh, after number 2?
Yeah, I think so.
I was going to say maybe between 1 and 2, but no, it's after 2.
Yeah, I think it's more like after 2 because, they referenced Nuke in it and stuff like that. And I've only played a few, like, I haven't gotten that far. So, like, I'm pretty sure ED209 will show up. Like, I haven't fought ED209 or whatever.
Oh, that would be cool.
So, yeah, like, it's fine. And I can understand. I feel like there was a bit more, just because the scene we're in, you know, everybody loves retro stuff and loves Robocop. So I feel like some of the reviews have been a little hype,
a little biased,
like more than you know, because everyone's like, oh, if you love Robocop, man, you'll love this, and it's like, it's fine, but definitely, I don't know what the equivalent. I paid 39 Canadian, so maybe that's like 29 US. You know what I mean? I feel like that's pay that or less, and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, well, I've still got a couple of games to play, but I will be getting it probably in the next year or so. But for sure, definitely. Can you fly, Bobby?
It's the same company that made a Terminator game that I've always wanted to play, but for some reason that game never goes on sale below 69 Canadian or whatever, and I keep on wanting to pick it up, but I'm like, I kind of don't want to pay full price for that one either. Anyway, whatever. Look, the point is this. It's okay, but definitely a little rough around the edges, and so I don't know, I don't call it a AAA game, I don't call it an indie game, do I call it a B game, do I call it a game, a AA game? I don't know what the phrase is. Let me know if any people are video game nerds in the audience. If there's a term for a game like this, I don't know what it is. Anyway, the point is that you're going to play me some cool music.
I am, actually. Yeah, this next one's really good. I've discovered a few newer artists this week. Artists that really don't have a lot of followers. This next one hails from Manchester, UK, and he's called FLASHWAVES. And he's got a really cool new track, which is called Sunset City, the Late Night Remix.
All right, and that was Sunset City, the late night remix by FLASHWAVES. And I'm here right now with Marko on the Marko and Andy Power Hour. We're talking about games and movies, and I will say, a game I'm actually really enjoying, Dave the Diver.
Dave the Diver? What the fuck is that?
If I explain it to you, you will go, why do you like this game? And I cannot explain other than it just has a very addictive gameplay loop. It got really well reviewed.
It's terrible.
You're a deep sea diver, you fish underwater, and then you run a sushi restaurant at nighttime.
What the fuck?
And the more you play, the more the game opens up. So it starts to get more and more complex, but it's paced in like a perfect way. So when the game first starts, you're kind of like, all right, I get this. You go underwater and you fish and you upgrade your gear and you can dive lower. And then you take the fish and you run the sushi restaurant. And then it'll start doing things like, oh, now you have to start farming for food and stuff. And now you open up a fish farm where you can get fish from. And now there's an underwater race that you go under and do missions for. And then there's like these bad guy environmentalists. They want to stop you, but actually they're secretly evil. And then you get guns as well because you have to upgrade your guns because some fish like you need to shoot because your spear isn't strong enough or whatever. And then there's boss fights. And then there's like, so there's all this stuff, but the game just slowly introduces you to all these different mechanics. And so once you finally think you get a handle on the game, then all of a sudden it's like, well, now you gotta keep track of this thing, and now you're doing missions for this guy, and now you're going into some fucking ice cave and whatever. Like it just keeps growing. And it's also, the fishing part is fun. It's just, there's no time limit. You just sort of swim around underwater and get fish. And I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I had a quick look at it. I don't think that one's for me, Andy.
Well, that's the thing.
He got pretty good reviews.
Dude, I said the same fucking thing, right? Like when I saw people reviewing it, and I'm like, fucking game where you fish and run a sushi restaurant? Like, fuck that. Like, I just had no interest. And then, PlayStation Plus was on sale, so I fucking signed up for it again.
Oh, is that what it was?
And then that was one of the games on the list.
Is it for free there, or?
Well, it's one of the PlayStation, if you're on the yearly subscription thing.
That explains it.
And I signed up because it was on sale. And then the second I signed up, I'm like, I don't want to play any of the fucking games on here. Like, why the fuck did I just do this?
Oh,
there goes
Jesus.
fucking $80 or whatever the hell. So I saw Dave the Diver and I'm like, oh fuck, I'll download it. What the hell? And dude, I've been playing that game for like every day. I probably play that game for at least like an hour. Like I just go swimming and fucking run a sushi restaurant. Then you hire staff and then you have to like upgrade your staff and
Cool. Cool, mate. Cool.
I know. It's those things where you just think, fuck, I mean, I just like to shoot stuff and kill things, and like, why would I like a game like this? And
well, I played a few different indie games that were for free as well, and I never would have played them if they weren't for free. So I understand, and I actually got into a couple of them pretty good. So it's interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of good indie games around, like just random shit like that, which is cool.
As the technology, I'm hoping gets easier for small teams to be able to do like things that are a little bit bigger in scope. Because I'm tired of like the business model of the AAA games, because it's all like fucking online this shit and fucking microtransactions and play the season, and then you play a game that just disappears because when season 2 starts, like the content for the first season is gone. Like stuff. I hate that business model.
I do too.
And so I'm hoping things open up, because right now the main thing that always sort of turns me off a bit from indie games is like, usually they're always doing like the pixel art graphics and stuff, and I get sort of bored of that. And I get it, obviously it's a lot harder for a small team to do like a fully open world like 3D game or whatever. But there's the chance that in the future doing some of that stuff might be simpler, or there's going to be tools that sort of streamline that so that like a small team could make like a 3D Zelda game or something and really compete with some of these AAA titles. Because I don't know, man, like I haven't been super inspired by a lot of the big games I've played. Like they look nice, but then I'm kind of like, it just feels like I'm just doing the same shit.
Yeah, I guess they play it safe in a way, right? They have a certain formula and they stick to it because that's what sells, I suppose, and they don't want to do anything too risque. But I know we've touched up on this before. I just wish some of these games would have like add-on sequels or DLC that isn't just multiplayer shit. I know we've talked about this before, but like GTA should have come out with the new stories, or or even Red Dead Redemption 2 or any of those games, but they don't anymore. Now it's just online content. That's all they give a shit about. That's where the money is, I guess. So,
Well, they did, I did read an article about that because I think they actually were going to do GTA 5 DLC, but then the online got so popular that they just fucking ditched it.
yeah, great.
It sucks because it's like when you realize, that like you're not the target audience anymore
Yeah.
for things, like because we're, men in our 40s and we're not technically the target demo. And so there's so much stuff now where I'm just like, oh, maybe they'll just never make anything for me again because like we're not these young kids who love this fucking Fortnite content cycling bullshit online nonsense.
No wonder we like to play this old stuff like GoldenEye and fucking all these old games because maybe that's a part of the reason why.
I like just straightforward gameplay, like
Yeah, me too.
even the games I like now, like the Far Cry games I enjoy. But then just like we just talked about, how sometimes companies like they take the wrong lessons from the success of something, and it's like, well, people love this online, so let's just focus everywhere on that, and then they eat whatever. And I think like the Far Cry series is like a series where, Part 3 was really popular and it had this stupid villain who kept talking to you all the time. You get kidnapped and then the villain's always like saying this stupid shit that it's like, supposed to be clever. And then now all the games do that. And so I see people get excited. Like there was like some DLC for Far Cry 6 where like, oh, there's DLC where they brought back all the different villains. And I'm like, but they sucked because every time the villain showed up, it meant I couldn't play.
Yeah.
Because, like, it would always stop the gameplay dead in its tracks. Oh, you're tied to a chair, so some dumb fucking villain can come and talk about the nature of evil, and you can't shoot anybody because it's a fucking dumb scene where you just have to sit there and listen to the bad guy fucking talk to you.
Go on and on.
Dude, I remember Far Cry 5. Like, it was ridiculous. It was like you get kidnapped like 12 times in that game. Like, every boss would kidnap you, and then you have to sit and watch. Where you lose all your guns and you're tied to a chair, and then you just have to do some stupid boss fight, but they always give you a speech before. And there were so many scenes where you get immobilized or you're drugged, so you're like laying on the floor sideways as some fucking bad guy goes like, what is evil? Maybe you're evil or whatever. I'm like, fuck off. Like, this stupid speech is about fucking what is evil, and then what else. Like, it's just boring. And like, what makes the game fun is the open world action part and not the sitting around watching stupid people talk to you part. That's why I like classic games,
Well, yeah, that's right. Like sometimes, like the other night, I wanted to sit down and play something, and I didn't want to spend like fucking 2 hours creating my character and going through all the cutscenes until you can actually play freely without tutorials and all this other shit. I sat down. Have you ever played Broforce? I sat down and played that again. And you could just pick it up and play it right away. Like, it's so much fun and it's so easy to play. Like, there's no learning curve or anything. I hadn't played it in years, and I was just like, fuck it, because that's what I was in the mood for, something to pick up quickly and just play. And I really had a lot of fun with it,
That's the thing that I miss, It's like why I like playing these old arcade games as well. It's like the second you press start, you're just playing a game. And yeah, the gameplay might be simplistic, but then when you really think about what you're actually doing, maybe this like fucking ruins the illusion for people, but like sometimes when you play a game, just actually think about what you're doing physically. Like, oh, you're playing some new game with awesome graphics. I'm hacking a fucking mainframe. But what are you actually doing? You're like swirling the left stick in circles while you tap X when a fucking circle appears on the screen or something, So a lot of times gameplay is pretty simplistic. So to me, it's no different. And what I like about old games, there's just this immediacy. Like when you play an old brawler, it's just this button jumps, this button punches, and you tap it, and a fucking guy punches. And like, that's really all you want.
Yeah.
Is to be a guy punching. That's all I want.
Sometimes that's all you want. It's true.
But also sometimes I want to hear cool music. So do you want to play something, or do you want me to play something?
You got one?
I got one, sure.
You play something this time.
All right. This is Pfeffermouse and Turbo Knight. Little combo here, and it's a track called Hidden Worlds. All right, and that was Hidden Worlds by Pfeffermouse and Turbo Knight. And that, of course, was brought to you by the awesome Patreon supporters. You know, the kings of the Pattersons, like Mike Shima and Riley Booth and Erlen Flatten and Mike Erdahl and Brandon Decker. And who else? Hugh Hefner. Randy. Yeah, man, they're all cool.
I feel like we probably should start talking about this movie if we're going to talk about it at all. Robowar.
Oh, yeah, fuck. So okay. I love also, too, on Tubi, Robowar is there twice.
Yeah, I saw that.
So one of them is just the movie, but with a shitty frame rate. It's like some shitty upload. Like they put it there twice. Because I pressed play on one of them and I was like, what's going on here? Like it was all choppy.
Yeah.
And so I left and clicked on the other one and the other one was fine. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna load up the IMDb so I can say the characters' names properly because they had some fucking stupid names.
Yeah. I know. Well, it was directed by Bruno Mattei or something like that. He used a different alter name for this movie, but it's the same guy, and he's notorious for doing knockoff movies. That's like his thing. And this is just... Robowar is just a blatant ripoff of Predator, really is. I mean, even some of the scenes are like exactly the same, which really made me laugh. I mean, it was entertaining, to say the least.
Yeah, they called, he's credited as Vincent Dawn,
right,
with music by Al Festa. There's like some funny names on this thing. It's probably all the same guy just doing everything. Yeah, Bruno Mattei. Yeah, so first of all, everyone should watch Robowar. It's fucking absurd. It's like the best example of just schlock garbage movies is when they just rip something off, but like... It's like they don't know why they're ripping it off. They're just like, well, in Predator, there's a scene where people shoot the trees. So we have to have a scene where our guys just stand there and shoot at trees. But...
Right, there's that scene. I know, when they scream, as it's shooting. I'm like, this is exactly the scene from fucking Predator. Oh my God. It's like, we didn't hit anything. We hit nothing. How is it possible? You know, it's the same fucking shit.
Corey?
I saw it.
What did you see?
Well, I saw some kind of a strange creature.
There's no blood. There's no body. There's no traces at all. We didn't hit a damn thing!
Well, first of all, okay, so spoiler alert.
Oh, Jesus.
If anyone gives a fuck.
Yeah, no shit.
Because it is a Predator knockoff. There is this thing running around the jungle, and then a squad goes in. Although I was sort of unclear as to what they thought their mission was, because it was a secret mission that they were going to have to fight this cyborg, but I wasn't clear as to what they thought their mission was supposed to be, because they sort of go into the jungle and they're just sort of there, like there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we knew what the hell we were looking for.
I don't think there's an answer to that. We're stalking something.
Yeah, Quang's ass.
Quiet! Stalking what?
I don't know. Does it make any difference?
There's the scene where they fight that camp of army guerrillas or whatever. Like,
yes,
that wasn't part of their mission. That was just because the girl said that those guys blew up the hospital or something. So then they just came across their camp,
killed the kids or whatever.
And then the movie's just them fighting those guys for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and it's like, but it's
because they wanted a scene like from Predator.
Yeah,
but there's a reason for it. I think it was hostages or something in Predator. Whereas this one, it's just let's just take them out.
Well, because in Predator, like I think that's what their mission was, or like what they thought it was, and then like it gets sidetracked by the Predator. In this movie, it's like backwards, but then they go fight this village just because it's there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
They're such bad motherfuckers.
Yes, that was absurd as well.
Here we have Corporal Neil Corey, expert heavy weapons, top marksman rating. Private Larry Garino, crack reconnaissance man, known as Diddy or Diddy Bop. Ex-Vietnam medical officer, Alfred Bray, dubbed Papa Doc. Sonny Peel, martial arts expert. His friends call him Blood. Nung Quo, forward scout and point taker, renamed Quang, carryover from the Vietnam campaign. And this is our coordinator, Major Murphy Black. Multi-decorated field officer, better known as Kill Zone.
Why do they have nicknames?
You should know what the group is called. BAM.
BAM?
Big-ass motherfuckers.
Sort of like, get to it and go get fucked like in Nam.
Get to it and go get fucked like in Nam. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean?
So I thought the credits misspelled it. So the lead guy, played by Reb Brown.
Major Murphy Black.
Yeah, except it's spelt Marphy.
Oh.
Marphy. And I thought that was a spelling mistake in the credits, but it also says Marphy on the Internet Movie Database.
And he's obviously Dutch.
Yes.
From Predator, obviously.
Fucking Papa Doc. What was the one, like fucking Diddy Bop? Okay, there's a scene where they're on a boat, and the two guys are like smoking a joint, but they're smoking it in the weirdest way. Did you catch that?
Yeah, with their hands. Yeah, they're like breathing it in with their hands. I don't know what that's about.
Is that a thing? Like, is that like a method of fucking weed smoking I don't know
It is.
about?
You can smoke it like that. It's just so rare anybody does it. It's got to be really airtight. But I guess the thing is, it's not on your lips. That's the whole point. I mean, I don't know. It's just
okay.
weird.
Maybe it was just a way that they could like pretend to smoke.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, like how in some movies they smoke like fucking herbal cigarettes or whatever?
Yep.
Oh, dude, the audience won't understand this at all. But when Marphy gets off the boat, because up until then, you only kind of see them from like the waist up, so you don't quite understand, like, you know, you don't know they're wearing funny clothes.
Oh, what he's wearing, yeah.
Dude, he's wearing this like cut off fluorescent blue, like
something.
tube top thing.
Midriff.
Yeah. I don't know, these guys are supposed to be tough.
What would you be wearing now?
Dude, it was fucking so funny.
I know.
Maybe I'll post some pictures on the fucking on the site or whatever. I'm gonna cut your face out and put it on his body wearing that shirt.
I hope so. Fuck yeah.
There are some great quotes in this though, because it is that thing, you know, where you have like the foreign director directing like English actors and giving them strange dialogue, and no one seems to have an issue with it. Like there's a lot of scenes where they're walking and there's like kind of dialogue that sounds like it's like, is this made up?
Yeah.
Like, was this actually written down?
Move along, Doc. You walk like a ruptured duck.
Huh? Feel like one.
You're doing fine, Doc. Don't listen to that guinea bastard.
Thank you.
Fuck you. You're welcome.
And the sound effects too, like they're walking through the jungle and there's always like music, and then there's always just the sound of monkeys all the time. It's like, how many fucking monkeys are in this jungle? You know, it's like they're surrounded by monkeys. Did you notice that?
I want to keep talking about it, but why don't you play me a song?
All right, well, there's a new album out from Sequenza. It's called Tracks, and it is released on Girlfriend Records. It's available on their Bandcamp and obviously on other streaming services. The one track that I really caught my eye was Elfin, or The End, and there's a really good music video for it on YouTube that Robin Lights did for it, so you should check that out. It's really good.
right, and that was Sequenza with the track El Fin. That is a cool song. Girlfriend Records.
Yeah. Still going.
I had Sphero on, who used to run Girlfriend, and then another guy took it over. That's that guy, as I said to Sphero, I said, I like those emails that he sends, because he just sends like a fucking link to like a Dropbox folder, and like, here's the new albums that are out, and it's very easy for me to grab and listen to.
Nice.
And that's what I appreciate.
They seem to be doing a lot of chill synth and stuff as well since he took over.
Yeah.
What's his name? Jonathan or something, I think.
Yeah, Jonatron. Jonatron, I think.
Jonatron, that's it, yeah. And they're doing, it's been really good. They release a lot of good music. Yeah, it's great stuff.
So look, speaking of not so great stuff, we were talking about Robowar, directed by Vincent Dawn, Bruno Mattei. Okay, so there was a line. I stopped taking notes at a certain point because the movie was so ridiculous.
Yeah, me too.
But one of the lines was, you walk like a ruptured duck. Did you catch that?
What?
Move along, Doc. You walk like a ruptured duck. Huh?
There was some dialogue that was so strange, because that was one of the lines.
Hey, it's nice here. Right back home in Alabama. Up here, up yours.
Life's a bitch and then you die.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, you know what they say. Life's a bitch, then you die.
Oh, there's a scene where the guy goes, I don't like this mission, and I don't like you.
You got your orders, and I got mine.
I don't like this business. I don't like you.
And there's a scene where he throws a knife at the guy and he sticks to the wall. It's exactly the same scene from Predator, but in Predator he says, stick around. And then in this one it says, don't move.
Yeah, yes.
It's the same fucking thing.
Don't move.
It's like a bamboo hut or whatever, and he kicks in the door, the same shit.
I love that anyone was alive. I saw another movie like that did the same thing, where they just totally destroy the village that the action scene takes place in, and then they still... Oh no, it was fucking... it was Delta Force 2. It was like the same fucking thing, where they just attack a village that is full of huts, and they just totally blow up every single hut, and then somehow there's still like survivors in moments where you'll see a guy run out. I'm like, didn't they just blow up like every single dwelling in this whole town? Like... You know, in this movie, the same thing. It's like they blow up every single hut, and then the lady runs in and goes, oh, they killed the kids. And it's like, how's there even a hut here?
Yeah.
The good guys didn't know what the fuck was going on. They were just like indiscriminately blowing up huts.
Yeah.
There was a scene that made me laugh where Quan,
he's funny,
who ends up doing the exact same sacrifice that What's-His-Face does in Predator.
Yeah, exactly same. I love he says, once he made up his mind, the only way I can change his mind is if I kill him. It's like, what the fuck? You're not even going to try to tell him, come on, man, come with us. It's like, once he makes up his mind, I have to kill him. It's like, with such random fucking dialogue.
I stay here. Quang, no! I stay, Major.
No, we can't leave him here.
He's made up his mind. I'd have to kill him to make her change it. Let's go.
The way I can best describe this movie is, I mean, besides being a complete Predator ripoff, when you watch it, it's as if they never told the actors what happened in the previous scene when they started filming.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, if you have a proper film with proper continuity, you know, like a movie sort of builds and it sort of goes somewhere, and it's like, you know, the actors progressively get more stressed out if they're in a stressed out situation or whatever, you know, like the movie has a story. But in this film, it's like at the end of every scene, we cut to another scene, and it's like the actors didn't know what the previous scene was supposed to be, or that they had any awareness of like what the script is. So like you'll have a scene that's really intense, and like one of their friends will die, and then you see them all like run away. Then the next scene starts, and they're just sort of like casually standing around as if nothing happened. And the whole movie is that. Every single scene does not feel like it connects to the previous scene, and like someone will die, and then it's like they didn't die. And one specific scene, again, this is hard for like the audience who's listening to understand. There's a guy who died on their team, who the robot fucking shot his laser beam at or whatever. Then there's a later scene where it shows them walking in the jungle, and they cut to a shot of the guy who was dead walking, because they just cut to like some old footage, and I guess the editor didn't notice that there was a shot there that was from earlier in the movie, and that fucking made me laugh my ass off, because I'm like, the fucking guy's dead. Like, just an editing mistake. Like, they needed a shot of fucking Papa Doc walking.
Papa Doc.
And he's like the one member of the crew that was like, how is this guy on this military team? Like, he just didn't have the build or the physique or whatever like to be part of this team. Like just this dude who did make some really funny faces. I will say in the scene before he gets killed where he's like running and like, he's chasing me. Guys, get here quick. He's chasing me.
Hurry! Hurry! I'm over here! He's following me!
And then they finally catch up to him, and then the robot has some ability we never see again where he just has like this long claw on a hose that just fucking goes through the forest and like, hey, what's that by your foot? And then the fucking claw grabs him and fucking pulls the guy through the forest.
Papa Doc, you made it.
Yeah, it was right there behind me. But it's not there anymore. At least I hope not. Scary as all hell.
Hey, what's that on your foot?
Huh?
Fucking amazing. Yeah, there's some really funny scenes in that. Yeah, and then it turns out, spoiler alert, turns out to be his buddy from Nam or something, and then...
Well, hold on here. Let's listen to another song, and then we'll wrap up our thoughts on this trash.
Wrap up our thoughts on this trash. Oh, love it. All right, who's next? You?
No, you can do one.
All right, I found another new artist who only has 12 followers on SoundCloud, Andy. Pretty ridiculous. Considering he makes really good music. And the artist I'm talking about is Teddy Raines. He's got this really cool track out. And it's called Synths and Strings. And it features some great guitar work and some awesome progressions in the track itself. It's really good.
Then that was Teddy Raines with the track Synths and Strings. And we're here. I'm here with Marko, listening to cool music, listening to Teddy Raines, and we're talking about Robowar, a movie you can watch on Tubi and YouTube. Actually, I think the whole movie's on YouTube as well. I don't think anyone's going to claim ownership of this fucking thing.
Nah, probably not. I doubt it.
There was one awesome scene where, I forget the fucking character's name. Was it fucking Blood? It wasn't Quang.
It wasn't Quang?
There's like several scenes where they just shoot at the trees for no reason. Yeah. And there was one early on where the one guy just fucking like leaps out and starts shooting, but he's like, wah! And then just starts fucking shooting, and he just had, like,
yeah.
His scream was amazing. I will say there was some really funny walking scenes in this movie. Like, there's plenty of moments where they just walk for like 3 minutes and some song plays that completely does not suit the mood of the movie at all.
I know, there's one song that's really good, and I was like, oh, this is actually good, but this sounds like a cool rock song or something. You know, why are they playing it when they're in the jungle walking around? It's all tense and shit. It just does not suit the mood whatsoever.
There's a scene where they rescue this woman, but this might have been the part I laughed at the most. Yeah. There's a shot where they're all just standing around. So at this point, they pretty much know that there is like a guy in the forest like hunting them. They don't know it's a robot or a cyborg until later on, but like they know there's something out there, which is why the whole movie is ridiculous. How like there's just scenes where like they just forget, like they don't act like they're being chased or whatever. And there's a scene where they're just standing around. Then all of a sudden, a bunch of people are getting chased by like these guerrilla soldiers, like who are driving like jeeps, chasing these people. Yeah. And they're like missionary workers or whatever, right? And then they see them. So the good guys, or like, you know, the good guys of the movie, are just kind of standing there watching this as these people come down the road.
Yeah.
And then they say, we're gonna help. Like we're gonna jump in and help these. And then the one guy's just like, that's not part of the mission. We're not here to help. And it's like, hey man, you shut up.
You're running them down like jackrabbits. What do we do, Major?
Look, we are not supposed to do anything except carry out this mission.
I say let's get ready for a clean kill.
What does that mean?
It means you better duck, shithead, because we're gonna start settling some accounts here.
Then they don't do anything while the Jeep guys kill everybody except the woman. Yeah. At this point, they're watching all this happen because they're just down the road and then they don't step in. So then the Jeep guys kill all the innocent people. And then finally when they surround the lady, this was like maybe the funniest shot of the whole movie where the two Jeeps are parked and they're taunting the woman, and then the camera just sort of pans slightly to the right, and then all the good guys are just standing there. Like, literally the guys parked their Jeeps 10 feet away from this little squad of army guys.
Yeah, how'd they not see him?
It was so funny.
They're not seeing him, they're not hiding, they're just standing there. They're standing there talking.
I know. Yeah. That scene was fucking so awesome. It was almost like a comedy moment because the camera just panned slightly to the right. They were just off camera. So when the camera turned, it only had to turn a little bit to reveal them. And fuck, I started laughing my ass off. I'm like, that is amazing. And the fact that, you know, they're supposed to be good guys and they just stood around while all these innocent people were killed. Like, it was just,
that too.
It was so funny. Because I think, again, just like how the way this movie's directed, how they never act like what happened in the previous scene, I feel like they're also never really told what they're supposed to be looking at or where they actually are. You know, because there's plenty of scenes where they're just standing and then the fucking cyborg pops out from behind a tree and it's unclear if they can see him. Yeah. Sometimes they're looking and it's like, are they meant to be able to see him in this scene? Because it's broad daylight and like the whole movie is that.
Yeah, it's fucking pretty hilarious. It's just so bad.
Can you explain this to me though?
Well,
the one dude with the beard gets killed. Well, they all get killed by the robot, but like that was another thing too. The one thing that is disappointing about this film none of the deaths were good.
No.
Like, I was hoping for at least some funny, gory death, because they never quite explain it, but the cyborg turns people into sort of melted skeletons.
Yeah, and he takes out their insides or something. Like,
Yes, because that's what the Predator does, except in this movie, it makes no sense why this guy is doing that. So the one dude who gets his arm ripped off, there's a scene where his arm is holding the dog tags, and then those are the dog tags of fucking Reb Brown's partner that died in Nam or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, why was that guy holding his dog tags? Like, they're not his dog tags.
No, I guess it's his buddy, but I don't fucking know. It's really weird.
It was never explained. It's not like he ripped the dog tags off the robot, because, you know, when Reb Brown sees the dog tags and he's like, oh, this reminds me of my old war buddy fucking McGillicuddy, or whatever the fuck his name was. And then it just turns out at the end, it's just like, oh no, they don't even reveal it in a cool way. Because then the guy whose accent kept changing the whole movie, he fucking leaves him a tape recording. He says, listen to this. And then he presses play and it's like, if anyone is still alive listening to this, and I'm talking to you, Reb Brown, because you're probably the one who's still alive.
Yeah.
That thing up there is actually a cyborg. And you know him pretty well because he's your old partner from Nam. So anyway, we did these experiments and, you know, we kept the most useful thing to us, which was his head. And, like, he says all this stuff on the tape, and you're like, what the fuck?
What is that?
It's a tape Master gave me to listen to.
I'm making this tape for the last one of us left alive. That's probably you, Black. What you're fighting is more than a machine. Omega 1 is your friend, Lieutenant Martin Woodring. They brought him into our center more dead than alive. We were able to save only the parts that really interested us, his head and his brain. He'd been singled out to us as the toughest and most brilliant expert in every kind of guerrilla warfare.
Oh, and of course, we did not talk about the best thing in this whole movie.
Yeah.
Which is
What's that?
the sound that the fucking robot makes.
Oh, yeah, it's so irritating. I know. Receive all the time.
I fucking love it. He sounds like a speak and spell.
Enemy sighted. Moving target. Tracking search. Receive. Azimuth elevation coordinates. Receive. Span set. Doppler frequency. Receive. Target center. Receive. On target. Receive. Signal hit. Amplify signal. Receive. Suspected. On target. Receive. Signal hit. Full fire. Receive.
What people need to understand about Robowar is every single scene where you see the robot and you see, first of all, his insane eye view.
It's not even a heat thing like in Predator. It's just blurry shit, pixelated shit.
Yeah, this orange pixelated filter where you cannot see anything. And then every single scene, it's just this speak and spell voice just saying, like, receive, target, quiet, receive. It's like,
fire on target,
yeah.
receive.
I don't even know why he's saying receive.
I don't know.
Because that's the word that he seems to say the most. And then target, quiet, receive, target, receive. That's the best part of the movie because the movie starts with a bang because like you do see the robot's eye view right away with the receive thing. And that happens instantly. Like there's these guys in a helicopter, but you're unsure like what they're doing. And then it immediately cuts to like the robot's eye view and it's sort of, again, directed in such a way where you're like, why is it cutting back and forth between this receive, and then these guys in the helicopter? And like, that to me is like what puts the movie over the top is that even if this thing was scary, which it isn't, that sound effect that it's making diffuses all the tension out of every sequence that robot is in because it's like it's a goofy sound effect. Like it's so stupid.
Did you also notice the scene? It's not the final scene, but you think it's going to be the final scene where they get to that hospital and all of a sudden it just turns to nighttime.
Yes.
They're like, it's daytime and they're like, oh, the hospital's right there. It's real close. All right, well, let's go there. Then next thing it's nighttime. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
That scene was great too because the guy reveals his face. So like the cyborg mask gets pulled up and it's his buddy. Then they do this sort of flashback and you think that he's recognizing him because they're going to do like an emotional scene of like the robot recognizing him and then like they don't fight. But the minute that like emotional flashback ends, it just cuts to Reb Brown who's like, ah! And then just punches the robot across the room. It's like, it was totally just the wrong thing to follow that scene. It was awesome. You think he's dead because Reb Brown gets the laser gun. And then the next scene is just this super bright beach sequence.
Yeah.
And then the robot just pops out of nowhere just in broad daylight and just punches Reb Brown. Like, it's so stupid.
There's like no bushes or anything.
No,
and he walks so slow. How did he just... I don't know. It's supposed to be like the fucking best of the best, and somehow this robot sneaks up on him. But it's the same shit. It's like, it's the leader, like Dutch, and the girl that survive.
Yeah.
And then the last three left are like, what's his name? Fucking Kwang or whatever. And he pulls a fucking Billy or whatever. He's
Yes.
Like, and it's funny how he's such a ripoff of, like, those two characters are the biggest ripoffs. And he's like fucking does the same shit. He's like spiritual and shit. He's in touch with like spirits and all the dark side. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's the same shit. And then he's like, wait, I'm staying here. And he pulls out a machete, the same fucking thing. And then you hear him screaming in the distance as he gets killed. It's like, it's the same fucking thing.
I love the idea of people who just so blatantly rip shit off. Like, it's funny to me. Like, what is the point of your film if you're literally just ripping off another movie?
And that's the sort of shit I did when I was 5 years old, or 6 years old.
Exactly.
I watched Terminator, and at school I'd write my own story, and it's basically the Terminator.
Yes. Dude, I actually found I found a series I wrote in public school where like it was called Robodoc. So the character looks like Bionic Commando from the Commodore 64, but he has the origin story of like Darkman, where like he blows up in a laboratory and it made his face all fucked up, and then he had a cannon arm because that was what Bionic Commando looked like on the Commodore, because the graphics on the Commodore version were kind of different than the Nintendo one.
Mm-hmm.
So he looked less like an army man and more sort of like a Mega Man kind of thing. Anyway, whatever. Point is, it's this movie is made by babies, I guess.
Yeah, seems that way. I know, and it's not the first time he did it. Anyway, just really random. I'm not sure what he's trying to achieve.
Was there some aspect of like that was lucrative back in the day, just to do like a rip-off movie, just because it would have a cool box in the video store and maybe you trick people into renting it?
I want to check out some of his other ones now, because I think he did. I got to look it up. I think it was called Strike Force or Strike something, and that's supposed to be Strike Commando. That's supposed to be a rip-off of Rambo, so I really want to see that one. That's what they say.
I wish it was called Strike Something.
Yeah.
That'd be an awesome title for a movie. Strike Something. Well, listen, man. Play me another song and then we'll fucking we'll wrap up.
All right, I got a cool, chill synth track here for you from an artist called Snakez. Another one that doesn't have a lot of followers. It's spelt Snakes with a Z on the end. And the track that I really like is called Flare.
right, and that was Flare by Snakez. Snakez. Want to make sure you know that there's a Z in there, or a Z for you Yanks.
Everybody picks on me because I say Z. And it's like, you really? You say Z? Because now I'm living in the US, but
yeah.
You say Z over there, do you?
Yep.
Cool.
No, like literally the States is the only place that says Z.
The States is the only place where a lot of things happen. It's ridiculous. It really is. It's so annoying. It's like it's fucking Fahrenheit and goddamn...
Yeah,
What about... You should be using the metric system. Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah, I'll never understand. Although, to be fair, we do like a weird kind of hybrid thing up here.
Yeah.
I think like England doesn't as well. You know what I mean? Where like,
yeah.
I still say my height in feet. Like I don't say it in centimeters, and I weigh myself in pounds.
Yeah.
But when it comes to distances...
So do you have like kilometers per hour, or do you have miles per hour over there?
We do kilometers per hour.
Kilometers? Okay, yeah, that's good.
Heat is the main one. Like when it comes to Celsius... It's like the Fahrenheit thing makes no sense to me. Like,
oh, I hate it. I still can't get it right.
Yeah.
It's fucking annoying.
That's why we got these calculators in our phones. You know, we can...
I do it all the time. It's true. I convert it all the time.
Well, listen, the point is this. We've just converted people's days to be much brighter by listening to cool music and talking about great films like Robowar.
Hell yeah.
And now I guess we
wind it down?
Yeah, is there anything to say?
Not really. I just hope everybody enjoyed it. Everybody enjoyed the good new music that came out. And if you're kind of bored, you're looking for something to watch, make sure you check out Robowar. It's really funny, entertaining movie. That's for fucking sure.
I did see Wolverine and Deadpool. I went to the...
Oh, you did? What was that like? I'm actually curious on that one.
It's good.
I'm a bit off the superhero movies, but...
Yes.
That one in particular does pique my interest for sure. Yeah.
Well, it's like a fun film, but definitely I will say... There was a lot of hype about like what it means for like the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like this, so there's a lot of that buildup, like just like, oh, like they're gonna reset the Marvel universe, and this is the movie that fucking. So the movie is a lot less consequential than that.
Good.
It's still like it's a fun movie. Like it's fun to watch, and like I was entertained by it, but definitely like the hype around it being like meaning something, it doesn't really mean anything. And like when the movie's over, it sort of just kind of resets anyway, so it's like it doesn't really matter in that sense.
Well, that's kind of good too.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Like it doesn't have to have a real deep meaning and major consequences for the whole fucking franchise.
Yes, well, that's the way they sort of like, you know, we're trying to build up excitement for it. Like, oh, this is going to be this big reset, and by the time the movie's over, it's kind of like, okay, so did anything really happen here? But like it feels like, so, I don't know, whatever, but it's fun.
Was it gory?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, that's what you want.
I mean, most of the, you know, the cameos have been spoiled at this point, but like when everyone was asking me my favorite, it's like, who is your favorite cameo, or who is the thing that you like the most in it? Honestly, I feel like I'm like a little kid, but like my favorite thing was Wolverine putting on the Wolverine costume. You know what I mean? Like that was my favorite thing. Was like there's a sequence at the end, which I know has been spoiled now because it's on the web, but like where he also wears the mask and they make a big deal of it. Like that's what I like about the humor of Deadpool, is like where, you know, the fact that Wolverine is wearing like his yellow outfit and then Deadpool's just making jokes like, oh, it only took 20 years to get you like in the actual costume and stuff. And then there's a scene at the end where he fucking puts the mask on too. You know, that was like the thing that made me the happiest, was like, hey, it's like fucking Wolverine. Like he's wearing the whole costume.
Cool.
That made me happy. So anyway.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that one out for sure. Yep. I'd rather watch that than the new Alien Romulus or whatever that fucking shit is. I'm so over those alien movies. They just seem to get worse and worse. I mean, this one might be all right. I don't know, but they just...
We'll see. I think this one might actually be okay.
See, it might be, and then I'm going to miss out because it's just got such a bad taste in my mouth from the previous
Yeah, well,
ones
I know.
That
Like
I'm not even, you know what I mean? That I'm not even going to give it a chance when I probably should be. So
yeah, I think this one might be okay. We'll see. Yeah, definitely. I'm with you. Like, I mean, you know, the Prometheus movies I don't love, and you know,
they look great and everything, but
yeah, how many of it have there been? Because Alien 3 is the last one. Like
three of them. I think it was
I think.
Covenant. Was there one after Covenant? I thought there was. Maybe
Alien Covenant. What's that? Is that a video game?
No, it's a movie. What the
Alien
hell?
Covenant?
2017 movie. It's really bad. It was horrible.
Alien Covenant.
And what pisses me off is it gets like 65% on Rotten Tomatoes. I literally turned it off halfway through because it's just... I'm just sick of movies where the fucking actors, the characters make like the stupidest choices, decisions all the time. It's like... And that's how it's driven by the plot. It's like, god damn, man.
Wait a second.
What?
don't think I've seen this movie.
Yeah, you haven't missed anything, mate.
Wait, hold on. Oh, I'm an idiot.
What?
Alien Covenant is the sequel to Prometheus.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I have seen it then.
Jesus. Yeah, I should have seen it. Oh my God.
Okay.
So no, it was Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and then there's Romulus that just came out.
Okay.
But Romulus is supposed to be after the first one or something.
Yeah. I don't think it's connected to this. In my head, I kept on thinking that Prometheus 2 was called like Prometheus fucking Alien Dawn or something. You know what I mean? Like I forgot that it was just called Alien. Okay. All right, man. Look, let's go.
Let's go. You had enough?
Yeah, I've had enough. But listen, you're a cool guy, and enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. And thanks for bringing some cool music to our attention.
Thanks, mate. Always like being on the show. Thank you.
All right, cheers, dude.
Beyond Synth Radio is produced by Andy Last. Check the show notes for more information on the musicians featured on the show. Beyond Synth is made possible by listeners like you. Consider supporting Beyond Synth at patreon.com/BeyondSynth. Thanks for listening.